Morning all. What we got on the time, it's just approaching 8:30. It's a Friday, and myself and Mr. Copson, who's just tucked himself under his brolly there. We're on the banks on our little day to keep water for our first session of the new year. Just got them out of me, mate.
Yeah, that's it, mate.
Same swims.
Happy New Year, even though it's a bit belated.
Yes, Happy New Year to you all. Hope you've all had a good Christmas and a good start to the new year. But what can we say?
Roach moving on top, but we ain't seen no carp.
That's right, mate. We've been here about, by the time we've got the stuff out the van and got the rods out, which took us about 35-40 minutes. As Mark said, I think there's one that showed there. There it is, there's the rings. There's plenty of roach moving. We've seen numerous shows of roach whilst we've been setting up. I just went out of focus there. Yet to see any carp, but air temperature, what do you reckon, Mark?
They're in between 5 and 7 degrees today, so...
I think there's a bit of rain forecast. You might be able to see the odd splitter, splatter and rings on the surface, but we're in store for plenty of rain, according to the weatherman, and heavy at times. But for a change, we've got no wind. The previous sessions we've done down there, certainly the back end of last year, there was quite a lot of wind about, and as you can see over there, it's quite an open space, and when it whips over them fields, it's a bit uncomfortable, but it didn't stop the fish feeding. We had, I think, how many fish did we have over the winter? The Christmas period, Mark?
We had nearly 40 fish between us. So.
Absolutely fantastic. I mean, Mark had the biggest fish at the last two sessions, which was that 18-pound fish, that common, which was a real bonus. But, you know, these are perfect venues, and ones that we target in the winter for the reason being we can get plenty of bites. You know, what if they're £2 or in Mark's case £18? But quietly confident today. We're
try things out as well.
That's true, mate. Using the same approach again. Snowman rigs. We've both gone in with snowman rigs to start the session off. But as Mark proved in the sessions towards the end of 2013, that the zig's always worth a shout. So we're going to keep them peeled on the water. And if nothing materialises in the opening, 2 or 3 hours of the session, a zig will be chucked out there, and we'll give that a bash. That one's coming to its own about dinner time, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, both times seem to have, I think I had 5 fish at one time and 4 the time after, so it all seem to come within an hour of each other though, so possibly at the hottest time of the day they move up off the bottom a bit, or they move down, whichever way it may be, and we seem to stumble across 2 or 3 sort of thing. So hopefully we'll be able to stumble across a few more today. Hopefully,
yeah. I mean, it's an interesting one, the zig, because early part of this week, it was, I think, Monday morning, late Sunday evening, over the night, Monday morning, woke up to a real vicious frost. Yeah, I got home from work and all the carp in my pool, granted it's only about like a foot deep, but every single fish was up in the water, so that just proves a point, like, you know. Just because you do get some real cold nights or cold mornings, whatever, the fish aren't necessarily, you know, rock bottom. So, you know, I could be fishing as I'm talking to you now over a shed load, and for all I know, they're about a foot under the surface. But, you know, it's one of them. But rambling on a bit, just nice to be here, and hopefully we can bag 1 or 2 for the camera. So, yeah, that's the scene. No one else here, incidentally. I'll be very surprised if no one does come down here today, but you never know, we might have the whole place to ourselves again and be really lucky, but there's plenty of room if someone does come down. There we have it then. So we're smack on 8:30 now. Just going to stick the kettle on and have the first brew of the session, so hopefully we'll have plenty to show you during the duration of this session. Right, and we're going to do water temperature reading. This is the current air temperature, which is just below 8 degrees, Mark. Is that right?
Yeah, it's just below 8 at the moment.
Okay, mate. See what the old water's doing then?
Yep.
Watch yourself down that bank, mate.
Probably not quite a true representative of the middle of the lake, but it also shows you the pH on here.
Don't know if we can pick that up, folks, but
obviously it does take a while to dip down from 8 degrees to probably around about 4-5 degrees of water temperature this sort of time of the year.
Yeah, we've got a bit of a glare on that screen, mate, so shout it out loud when it drops down and nestles.
Wait for it to stabilise first, but it's dropping down to 6.5 at the minute, so pH just around 9.
It's real technical stuff, this, guys. pH,
which is just over the ideal. The ideal would be obviously neutral being 7. I think Carp at about 8 pH.
we're still dropping.
Yeah, at the moment it's down to 5.7 at the minute. So
What are you going for?
I would say around. Water normally freezes at about 4 degrees, believe it or not, the surface. So it's probably just below that, just above it rather. But 5.4 now, it's slowing down. So I would say 5.3. You've got about 5 degrees there today.
Well, we've had some late arrivals. As you can clearly see there, they just put the bivvy up. I think they're doing a bit of float fishing, so fair play to them. A couple of young lads, braving the elements. But just a quick update on the fishing situation. Bit of breaking news, Mark's had a bleep. But I think that was on his, I think it was his jig rod. He put it out there and within a couple of minutes he had a bleep. But that may have just been one of these roach that keep darting to the surface, or a bream or something, but bit of an encouragement. But the rain's starting to fall now. Got the radio on for the forecast, as well as my mobile phone app, and they're both saying that this rain's going to move in. Well, I should say this rain's going to get heavier around about dinner time, and quite windy. So we're all prepared and ready for that. But regarding the wind, the previous 2 sessions that we did here over Christmas, as we showed you, there was wind on the water, so maybe that may play into our hands. As you can see now, it's quite still. There's a bit of wind up the back there, and Mark, who's fished this venue a lot more than me over the years, assures me that end of the island is quite shallow. It's only about 18 inches, but interesting one. But it's very quiet at the moment. As we showed you earlier, it's around about 4 to 5 degrees the water temperature, so we are up against it today, folks, but there's plenty of fish in here. It's all about finding them. So I've just respotted both rods, and I'm going to continue to give them around about an hour. I'm just going to keep moving them around. The last couple of sessions, going back to last year again, there was fish moving around everywhere. Today they made us be shoaled up, so if we can hopefully find the pocket that they're holding in, you know, we could have a few, but it's all about finding them. So in my experience fishing over the winter, don't leave your rod static, just move them about. You know, 2 foot either side could be make or break whether you bank a fish during your session. I've done that loads of times. And obviously keep your eyes on the water. If there's a bit of a ripple on the water, it is hard to pick up fizzing or bubbling, but just keep them peeled. They may not just leap out the water, but you just might get that one that's sort of head and shoulders. Drop a rod on it and bang, you got a fish. So that's what I'll be doing, whilst I'm hopefully waiting for one of them rods to scream off. Keep watching that water. At last a bite, and this one absolutely roared off. Short range, Mark?
4 rod lengths.
We were just having another chat again and saying that neither of us had seen anything show, and then out of the blue the rod just whipped round and Mark's got a fish on. Yeah, that's right, mate. We're the first capture of 2014. I'm just going to come to the left here because You've left your net up the bank, mate. Ooh. Sorry about the dodgy camera work, folks. I've just fell down a bit of a dip. A dip. That's better.
They don't give themselves away at all. So
there we go.
One roll just after you turned the camera off last time, didn't they?
Yep.
That's when they showed we'd seen.
Yeah, it's very far and few between, mate, at the moment. Right.
How big it is, we'll certainly have it today.
It's a mirror, I think, mate. Ooh, some nice scales on that, mate.
Nice to get a bite just to make sure the bobbins are still singing.
Yeah.
The line, that's the Christmas break.
Got him, mate?
Yep.
Lovely. Let's have a better look on the bank. Well then, folks, by far the not the biggest fish that Mark's ever going to catch, but look at the scales on that. Absolutely.
Well,
that is a really quality fish, mate, for this venue.
Yeah, beautiful looking fit thing.
Mark's had a right game picking it up. We spent the last 10 minutes trying to pick it up because it's, well, Mark's obviously his hands are going to be slightly warmer than his fish, and
yeah, very cold.
You did mention that fish was a lot colder than the ones we were catching last year.
Yeah.
But that's just the minter.
Yeah. Let's hope we can winkle a few more out in this sort of condition and the scale pattern.
About 4 or 5 pound, mate?
Yeah, something like that. But after a real grueling morning, it's, I think about 4 hours we've been here now.
Yeah, easy.
That's other than one bleep earlier, which I think was a line, anyhow, this is the first indication we've had. So it's great to get the first one under my belt for the year.
Well done, mate. Camera's steaming up a bit because the conditions are really damp and rain's coming down, but great achievement, and hopefully, as you said, there's a few more to grace the bank and not just this one.
That's it, mate. Okay,
so I'll try and get some pictures of this one because it's a really nice apple sliced little stunner.
Brilliant.
Well done, mate.